Hi guys, so now we're going to learn about the very last kind of factoring, which is special products. Okay, the key on these guys, print it if you like. The key on these guys is to look for the perfect squares. Now the perfect squares are 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9. So the perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, 36, 7, 49, 8, 4, 9 times 9, 81, 10 times 10, 100, 11 times 11, 121, so on and so forth, okay? The perfect squares are 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, 121, so on and so forth. So that's a perfect square because there are two numbers. When you multiply that number times itself, you get a perfect square. All right, and it's not that I necessarily need you to memorize or have that list memorized, but you have a calculator and we can find the square roots. For example, like the square root of 64 is 8, or 8 squared is 64, or you could say the square root of 64 is 8. So that goes back and forth. Or you could say like the square root of 81 is 9. Square root of 100 is 10. Square root of 25 is 5. Or you could say like 5 squared is 25. So these perfect squares are important numbers. Not just for what we're doing now, but just like in general as well. Okay, so I'm going to do this problem how we originally learned it, and then I want to show you a pattern. Okay, so we learned this if there's nothing written in front, then you do multiplies to give you the last number, adds to give you the middle number. So two numbers that multiply to give us 25 are 5 and 5. And then 5 plus 5 is also 10. So then we could write x plus 5, x plus 5. Right, now keep in mind, if your factors, that's what this is called a factor, that is called a factor. If your factors are literally the exact same, you write a little square, okay? If I'm going to do another problem and then I'm going to come back and show you a little shortcut. All right, let's look at this guy. There's no number in front of the x squared, so we're going to do it multiplies to give me 81, adds to give me negative 18. So the numbers that multiply to give me 81 are 9 and 9, but we need a negative 18. So it's probably both of them negative. Let's check. Negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81. Negative 9 plus negative 9 is negative 18, so that works. So we would write x minus 9, x minus 9, and those are literally the exact same. We write x minus 9 squared. Okay? Now, this guy right here, 25p squared plus 70p plus 49. All right, we could, if we wanted to, because there's a number there, we'd have to do 25 times 49. I don't know, it's going to give us some big number. It's going to make us nervous. And then we would have to figure out what would multiply to give us that number, and then add to give us the middle number. Or we can do this little trick. Okay? So I'm coming back to that problem. It's way easier than it looks. And let's go here. I don't know, like a little tiny lag. I'm going to change the colors. All right, so the square root of 25 is 5. So I'm going to write x plus 5, x plus 5. And 5 plus 5 is 10, so it works. So it's the exact same thing twice. I'm going to write squared. For real, that's it. Nothing else. No trick later. The end. I know, you're confused because it's easy. Let's do it again. Right on him. Let me let what we did load. Here we go. All right, so 81 is a perfect square. You're going to look at the first number and the last number. Okay, don't look at the middle because the middle is not going to be a perfect square. Look at the first number and the last number. So the square root In front of that x squared is a 1, so the square root of 1 is 1. Fine. Square root of 81 is 9. So we're going to write x, because the square root of x squared is x, because x times x is x squared. And then we have a 9, and then x, and we have a 9. All right, we need a negative 18, and the only way to get a negative 18 is for a negative 9. So they're the exact same thing. So we're going to do x minus 9 squared. Okay, I know you don't believe me. Let's go to that hard one. Okay, so we got square root of 25, square root of p squared, square root of 49. Ignore the middle guy. So the square root of 49 is 7, because 7 times 7 is 49. Square root of p squared is p, because p times p is p squared. Square root of 25 is 5, right? So we're going to write 5p, and then we're going to write 7. Then we're going to look right here in the middle guy, and we need a positive number. So we need a positive number. Okay, and so it's the exact same thing. So we're going to square it. If you don't believe me, totally fine. Let's FOIL it. So 5 times 5 is 25. P times p is p squared. 5 times 7, 35p. 7 times 5, 35p. 7 times 7, 49. All right, add the like terms. So we get 25p squared plus 70p plus 49. Yeah. So when we see a perfect square in the beginning and the end, we can do this little trick. So we have the square root 4, square root, what happened? X squared, I don't know why there's like a glitch. Square root 1. All right, let me take this off because it's not going to help us. Glitch in this program. All right. Okay, so square root of 4 is 2. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 1 is 1. All right, so 2x, and then we have the 1. All right, look at our middle guy. We need a negative. These are negative. So we have 2x minus 1. It's the exact same, so we write squared. If you want to check it, go ahead and multiply it out. All right, now we have this guy. Let's check. 81 is 9 times 9. 64, 9 times 9. 8 times 8. 81, 9. X squared is x. Ignore the middle guy for right now. 64 is 8. Y squared, we're not going to get nervous. We need the square root of y squared, just like x squared is y. Okay, we have our two factors. So the square root of 81 is 9. Square root of x squared is x. Okay, square root of 64 is 8. Square root of y is y. And then we have a plus sign, so everything needs to be positive. And it's the exact same thing. So 9x plus 8y squared. That's the next. It's not the next, but the next. Okay, here we are. Okay, square root of 25, square root of x squared, square root of 49, square root of y squared. Okay, and we're going to have to write the factors. So square root of 25 is 5. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of y is y. And then this guy right here is negative, so he needs to be negative. So they're the exact same. So we're going to put a squared because squared means, hey, write me twice. Okay, let's try this guy. So it's just two terms. Still not going to worry because this could be written as x squared plus 0x plus 69, 169. We could say, hey, what multiplies to give me 169 adds to give me 0. Okay, 13. This is a negative. And negative 13. would give me a negative 169 and then 0. So we would write like x plus 13, x minus 13. Or you can say, hey, she said something about squares. So the square root of x squared is x. Square root of 169 is 13. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 169 is 13. And I don't care which one is plus and minus. But they're not the exact same thing, so you can't put that squared. Notice there is a subtraction sign right there. Okay? This only works if there's two terms with a subtraction sign. What the heck happened right there, guys? Go back in your corner. Go back. Subtraction. Alright, let's try. There's another one. Okay, two terms, got it. Subtraction, got it. So, square root of 49, 7. Square root of x squared, x. Square root of 64, 8. Square root of y, y squared. And it's subtraction, so one's plus and one's minus. I don't care. You want to write the subtraction first. Doesn't matter. Okay, we're not going to get worried. We can do this. It's two terms and their subtraction. Square root of 16 is 4. Square root of 49 is 7. Okay, so square root of x to the fourth. Okay, well, x squared, x times x. So the square root of x is x. X fourth is x 4 times. So that square root is squared, also because the square root of 4 is 2. So we're going to write squared here. Now one's plus, one's minus, and we're done. Okay, this one says x squared plus 36. Every other problem we've done with two terms, it had a subtraction. Okay, so square root of x squared is x, square root of 36 is 6, 1 plus, 1 minus. Let's check it just because. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 6 is negative 6x. 6 times 6x is 6x. 6 times negative 6 is negative 36. These guys cancel, so I get x squared minus 36. Negative plus 36. Alright, so he cannot be factored because you need a minus sign. Alright, and this is called prime, so you know. So I don't care if you write prime or cannot be factored. Just know that it can't be factored. If you want to do both minuses 6's and try that out, it's not going to factor. If you want to do both plus 6's, it's not going to come out correct. You can try though. All right, that's the end of special products. And then we have one more video about factoring.